Shakanet kids, this is our third lesson in diagramming, and we're going to do a little more with direct objects and also add in indirect objects. Now on your sheet, you're looking for diagramming direct objects, and on the back it should say diagramming indirect objects. There are going to be some parts I cross off of here completely, and I'm going to make some changes as we go, so make sure you pay attention. And you're only going to have to do specific ones on the sheet. So let's get started. The first sentence is, Mom made dinner. You should be able to do this easily. Very simple one. Rocket, Mom made dinner. Mom is our simple subject. What did Mom do? She made. That's the verb. What did she make? She made dinner. So dinner is our what? The direct object. And you can only have direct objects when you have an action verb. And we have an action verb here. We have made. Mom made dinner. That's pretty easy. Simple subject, verb, direct object. This is the subject. This whole thing is the predicate. All right. Grandmother grows beautiful flowers. Grandmother grows beautiful flowers. Rocket, grandmother grows beautiful flowers. So we split after grandmother. What does grandmother do? What's the action verb? She grows. Now, she does not grow herself. She's not growing up. She grows something. What does she grow? She grows flowers. So she grows flowers. That's the direct object. What does she grow? She grows flowers. But there's more there. It tells what kind of flowers. What kind of flowers are they? They're beautiful flowers. Beautiful is an adjective that modifies flowers. Remember, our modifiers come off of our nouns. So, beautiful. Grandmother grows beautiful flowers. Okay, good. I'm going to do several with you before I have you do some of your own. Number 3, the state has many parks. Talk you through that one. Let's rock it. The state has many parks. And they already have state. The is an article that modifies state, so it comes off of state. State, the verb is has. What does the state have? Parks. That's our direct object, right? But there is a modifier there. What kind of parks? Many parks. So our adjective comes off of there. That one's already done for you, but I wanted to talk it through. The next one is a little different, but you can probably think it through. Alex and Claire are making a map. Let's rock it. Alex and Claire are making a map. Alex and Claire is a compound subject. So we're going to have to make one of those little arrow things. We have Alex and is our compound, as our conjunction, Claire. Alex and Claire are making a map. Now, this verb has a helping verb. So the whole verb is not just making. The whole verb is are making. You need to have the are there. Are making. Helping verb plus the verb is the verb. So the verb is are making. So we're going to put both of them here. Claire and Alex and Claire are making. That is the verb. Okay? What are they making? They're making a map. You just need the main noun there. Oh, what did I do wrong there? Anyone know before I take care of it? My line is too long. That direct object line can only touch the baseline. They're making a map. There is a modifier there. What word describes map? It's a map. So there we have Alex and Claire are making a map. Simple subject, verb, and then we have our direct object there. Okay, I'm going to do one more for you. We're going to go to number 3. Annie eats peanut butter and jelly. Okay, let's rock that sentence. Annie eats peanut butter and jelly. Annie eats. Annie eats. That's pretty easy. But what does she eat? What's the direct object? Peanut butter and jelly. That's a compound direct object. So we are going to do this. We're going to put this line right here. But coming off of that, how do we do this? Let's see. Hang on, let me pause for a second. Okay. I'm going to go with what I originally thought. We're just going to extend the line here a little bit, and then we will make our little arrow right there. So Annie eats peanut butter, and she eats jelly. Simple subject, verb, direct object, but it's a compound direct object. Okay? All right, you will do number 7, number 4, and number 8. Okay? And now I'm going to go to the back of the sheet, the indirect objects. Now remember, let's remember what indirect objects are. So if I say, I kicked the ball, the direct object is the ball, right? But if I say I kicked Tom the ball, it doesn't mean I kicked Tom. It just means I kicked the ball to Tom. Tom would be our indirect object. The ball would be our direct object. I hope that comes back to you because you'll need to know that for this next section. Okay, number 1, I wrote Lindsay a note. What did I do? I wrote, what did I write? I wrote a note. Direct object, I wrote a note. I wrote note. That's the basic sentence. But there's more to it. I wrote Lindsay the note. I wrote the note to Lindsay. So I wrote it to Lindsay. So it's going to look like this. Little line comes off, and we're going to say to Lindsay. Now later, when I teach you how to diagram prepositional phrases, you'll understand why this looks just like this. For now, don't worry about it. Just take my word for it. Indirect objects come slanted off with a line, kind of like a hockey stick. Okay? I wrote Lindsay a note. In your mind, you're thinking, I wrote a note to Lindsay. All right? That's number 1. Let's go to number 2. Ryan gave Paul a ride. Rocket, Ryan gave Paul a ride. So let's figure out the simple subject. We know that is Ryan. What did he do? What's the verb? He gave. What did he give? He gave a ride. Direct object. Ryan gave ride. Subject, verb, direct object. But what's special about ride? There's a modifier there. What word comes before ride? Okay, that's an article or an adjective modifying ride. Ryan gave the ride to who? Ryan gave Paul a ride. So remember that fancy thing, the hockey stick? Ryan gave Paul a ride. Or another way of thinking it is Ryan gave a ride to Paul. Okay, that's how you do number 2. And that's why number 2 is set up like that. I know it's there for you already, but I want you to understand why. Number 3, cross out. They've thrown a prepositional phrase in there. We haven't done those yet, so just cross number 3 completely out. You're not doing it. Number 4, Jessica wrote our principal a note. Rocket. Jessica wrote our principal a note. Okay, simple subject is Jessica. What did she do? She wrote. That's the verb. What did she write? Note. She wrote note. Jessica wrote note. What modifies note? What word goes in front of note? A note. Okay, just an adjective. Jessica wrote that note to somebody, though. Who did she write it to? The principal. Jessica wrote our principal a note. Okay. Jessica wrote our principal a note. She wrote a note to our principal. But notice it says here, Jessica wrote our principal a note. I didn't even see that on here. But we have an adjective modifying principal. Remember, adjectives go off their noun. So it's not just a principal, it's our principal. So we're going to slide this off of here. Okay? Jessica wrote a note. Jessica wrote a note to our principal. The sentence is, Jessica wrote our principal a note. Simple subject, verb, direct object. Indirect object, right there. Okay? You will do number 5 on your own, but please listen to this. cross off the words in Spanish. In number 5, cross them out. That's a prepositional phrase. I don't want you to do that yet. Number 6, Aunt Betsy gave me a sweater for Christmas. Cross off for Christmas. Do not do those 2 words in the sentence. Number 3, Levon mailed Amber an invitation. You do that one as written. Number 8, completely cross off. You're not going to do that one. There's an infinitive in there, and it's getting a little too confusing. Okay, good luck. Submit both sides.